enjoyed Friday night Dharma meditation. Building on that, can you give examples of how to forgive those that have wronged you? So as an aside, there's a whole practice involving forgiveness. So we did not do that here, but there are very clear forgiveness practices that really are training you to forgive yourself, forgive somebody else who's harmed you, ask somebody else for forgiveness. So these are practices just like loving kindness or compassion. So that helps. I'll just say that for whoever asked the question. Forgiveness practices will help. But beyond that, forgiving someone sometimes isn't even necessary when you begin to understand causes and conditions. Right? So when people have wronged you, and it, you know, I'm not right now talking about the deepest of wrongs. Right now I'm not talking about the little girl who was raped by the sea pirate. Not talking about that. We may be talking about pretty big hurts right now. I have no idea what this hurt was, what somebody's asking, but we're avoiding the worst of the hurts right now is very complicated. But when somebody's wronged you, you can know that their action came about from causes and conditions. In the same way that a fire burns when the causes and conditions are there. So every single person's actions come from causes and conditions dating back all the way through their ancestors, right? The person who I am right now and the actions I take are related to so many causes and conditions that were beyond my control. And so there's a story in the book about, let's say there's a china shop owner, and somebody lets a bull into the china shop, and the bull is charging around, breaking all the china, right? Is the china shop owner angry and blaming at the bull? Right? Or does the china shop owner, if they have a little mindfulness, understand that the bull was just doing what bulls do? Right? The bull has bull nature, and that's what bulls do. Bull in a china shop, that's what they do. That's how they are, right? Now, it's possible the china shop owner would be angry at the person who let the bull in. We could blame them, you know what I mean? But really the bull, the one who's doing the harm, the actual direct harm, is just doing what a bull does, right? And you can think of people who harm other people as like that. So, like, we don't have to forgive the bull. Do you see? Do we have to forgive the bull? We might have to forgive the one who let the bull out, I'm just saying. But we don't. We don't have to forgive the bull. Right? So if we start to think of people who are harming as bulls in china shops, maybe we can recognize that they didn't know what they were doing. When people do harm, you know, they're not yet capable of seeing and loving, as Tai says. You know, they don't have the benefit of the Dharma training that we have, right? So there's, you know, two answers to this question. One is forgiveness practices, formal forgiveness practices, and the other is this idea of causes and conditions, and that understanding that, you know, when people are doing harm, it's an expression of their nature. It doesn't mean we're letting them off the hook. I mean, if somebody's dangerous, they probably shouldn't be on the streets. You know, bulls should be, you know, locked up, right? We can't just let them out, right? So we're not saying that we allow bad behavior, but we're saying that we have true understanding as Thich Nhat Hanh did, about, let's say, the causes and conditions that led to the sea pirates, raised in a village where women are treated like chattel, used and abused, taught to steal and hurt people from an early age to survive, right? So when Thai really, really fully understood the causes and conditions that led, forgiveness became not an issue. It became a non-issue, right? So in many cases, when you begin to work with causes and conditions, forgiveness kind of slips away, right? And then there's forgiveness practices too. So I hope that helps.